What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers may just have gotten a huge break in the center front, and that is with DeAndre Ayton. So Ayton was just bought out, according to Shams, that he was just bought out by the Portland Trailblazers. Shams Charania, breaking. DeAndre Ayton is finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trailblazers to become a free agent, sources tell ESPN. This is huge. So not only is Day'Ron Sharpe now available, but so is DeAndre Ayton. Two guys that the Lakers were interested in trading for that you could have made an argument for the Lakers to trade for. Lakers have zero excuse to not get a center. They could get literally two starting level centers now. Go sign DeAndre Ayton, right? He's getting a buyout. So, whatever you get him on, can you sign him on the mid-level exception or taxpayer mid-level exception? Do you just let Dorian Finney-Smith walk? Because if Dorian Finney-Smith walks, then that frees up your full mid-level exception. Maybe you're giving that to DeAndre Ayton, right? You're talking about a young, versatile, skilled center that needs to prove himself, right? Look, I've talked about DeAndre Ayton before, right? Made videos about it. Many of you wanted DeAndre Ayton and the Lakers to go trade for Ayton. But my big issue with Ayton was, one, the amount of money he was making, right? Talking, was $35 million or whatever that you'd have to send out to go and trade for Ayton. That's a lot of money that you're sending out as far as players go and stuff like that. Plus, you have to fill out the rest of the roster and you need to make other trades and other moves. But the other thing is, too, is like, you're giving up whatever assets you have to give up. Portland wants a first or whatever. And then if it doesn't work out, because Ayton, as great as he is as a player, is a guy that just hasn't been able to get out of his own way. He is an incredible talent. And I've talked very heavily in those videos about how I do think that there is that version of Ayton where you're like, dude, this guy is one of the best centers in the league. You're talking about a guy that could be a legit 20-10 center, right? If he can just lock in, engage, and focus. A guy that doesn't need plays ran for him. A guy that can go and play off of Luka. If LeBron sticks around, could play off of LeBron. Give you that foundation of Ayton and Luka long-term if it works out. I mean, again, this is also one of the things that I talked about, right? Like I talked how, we need to be patient, right? I said this in a video the other day. I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard at times as a fan base, right? We want Lakers to just go rush and trade for a center. Go sell the farm to go get a Nick Claxton or whatever, right? And again, patience is key. Let's let things develop. I talk about it all the time. Said it last year. And then Lakers went and traded for Dorian Finney-Smith. And then they landed Luka, right? Even after, they were like, is it Lakers going to do it? I said, let's just wait and see what develops. Let's wait and see what happens before we just assume the Lakers, again, things tend to work themselves out. And you knew a team like Portland, they needed to figure something out. They needed to get off of guys. Well, the Lakers could have rushed. What if the Lakers went and rushed and traded and gave up Connect and, Rui and all this stuff to go get Ayton, and in the end, they would have gotten him for free, potentially. Right? It's, again, patience is everything. Now, look, it's still up to the Lakers to go and get him. Two, what does he want to do? Because you got to keep in mind, it takes two to tango. Does Ayton want to go to the Lakers? One, which if I'm him, I do. And it's not even just because, the Luka. No, literally the only reason I would want to go to the Lakers is because you have seen time and time again, players kind of need to revamp themselves, kind of reinvent themselves, change their image and all that stuff. And you go to the Lakers, you got the big spotlight, right? It does help that you do have Luka and LeBron who can come in and help you and put you in position to have success. And especially Luka's going to make you look good and throwing lobs, doing all this stuff to you, right? And if you do well there, you're probably going to get paid, whether it's with the Lakers or somewhere else. And for the Lakers, this would be so low risk, high reward as it gets, right? Like you're not signing him if you get him, even if you free up your full mid level and you sign him, you're still not going and paying him 20, 30 million a year, right? And teams don't have a bunch of cap space, right? Like are the Hornets going to go and sign him, or are the the Nets, the Wizards, not the Hornets, the Wizards, that's who it was. Are the Wizards going to go and sign it? Like, again, like it doesn't make, and that doesn't even really make sense for Ayton. Does Ayton want the bag, or does he want an opportunity to not only potentially win, but make some money, and then if he can prove himself, get the bag? All right, we're going to see, because again, it takes two to tango. Lakers very well, I imagine, would offer him a contract and ask him to come in. But does Ayton want to do that? Again, if I'm Ayton, I would want to do that. That is incredible. Lakers could literally end up with Day'Ron Sharpe and DeAndre Ayton. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because, stuff happens. But they could literally end up with DeAndre Ayton as your starter, Day'Ron Sharpe as your backup, right? Still have all their assets, all their players, everything to go make other moves, to go get, an Andrew Wiggins. I know that there's talks about, that deal might be dead, but just using him as an example, go get a starting level 3-and-D wing. There we go. Let's phrase it like that. Go get a starting level 3-and-D wing, and then, can you get some bench depth and stuff like that? Because look, Ayton's 26 years old. He'll be 27 next month, right? And on the 23rd of July. So he's still young enough to where if it works, you could have him another 6 years, right? If not more. Right? It basically lines up with Luka and Luka's timeline. Right? Last year, he averaged 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. But this is a guy that has had seasons, especially, he was huge on that Phoenix Finals run. Huge. Right? You get that, Ayton, this Lakers team is something, genuinely. Right? But, he's had years. Right? You look at 2022, 2023. Right? That was the run. 18 points, 10 rebounds. Right? 2 assists, a round up, to a full steal and a full block. It's 0.6 and 0.8, right? And he's had multiple seasons. This was a guy that, again, was a 20-and-10 guy, or 18-and-10 guy. There we go. You want to be technical, right? He was an 18-and-10 guy on Phoenix, right? And now you're going to go to a team, potentially, assuming he signs, like the Lakers, where you could go and play with a guy like Luka, who's going to set you up. Right? Again, and he's a guy that doesn't need plays ran for him. He's a guy that doesn't need the ball in his hands. Right? He's a guy that can go and just create and get offensive rebounds and work hard and rebound and do all those things. Right? He is, for his career, a 3.1 offensive rebound player. Averages 3.1 offensive rebounds a game. Now, the problem is defense. He's not this great defense player, this great shot blocker, but he for his career averages 1. But he is so talented. He's arguably by far the best option the Lakers could get. Because if you can get him back to being the DeAndre Ayton of Phoenix, you're talking about a legit 18 and 10 center without Luka Doncic. So what does he look like with Luka? What does he look like with LeBron? Right? You're talking about a guy that easily could be 20-and-10 for you, that can get some offense going, do multiple things out there on the basketball court, right? Like a guy that can just be that anchor for a long while. Right? I still think you really need some defensive wings, right? Because my concern would still be the lack of defense. You have Luka, right? Austin Reeves. Even if you were to go get, say, an Andrew Wiggins, right? You'd still have Ayton and LeBron. It's just like you have like one defensive piece out there, right? Which is why, I think if you get Ayton, I think there's a genuine argument to turn Austin Reeves into a better kind of slotted two-way guy. Or if LeBron, there's talks about LeBron getting traded, right? If LeBron ends up getting traded, then, hey, maybe you go and, try to get some more defensive pieces, right? Because you got like Ayton, Reeves, and Luka. Something to kind of keep in mind. But anyway, you look at last season, right? Let's go over, kind of some of the numbers real quick on what he provided last year, right? Because like I said, last year he was 14 points, but 40 games played, 40 games started, 30 minutes per game, 11.7 field goal attempts per game, which is the second lowest of his career. Also, you got to keep in mind, Donovan Clegan started to really kind of come into his own, right? So things like that to keep in mind. But 11.7 field goal attempts per game, 56.6% from the field, which was, again, the second lowest field goal percentage of his career. 3-point shooting, not really a 3-point shooter, but he took just under 1 attempt per game in Portland and shot 20% or 19%. 2-point range, 59.4% on 11 attempts, EFG of 57.3%, 66.7% from the free throw line, which was the lowest of his career. He's a career 76% guy. 10.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 0.8 steals, and a full block with 14.4 points. You look at even the previous year in Portland, 55 games played, 55 games started, 32.4 minutes per game, 13.6 field goal attempts, shot 57% from the field, 0.2 attempts, so not even really worth talking about. Took 13.4 2-point attempts, shot 57.6% from 2-point range, EFG of 57.1, 82.3% from the free throw line on 1.4 attempts, 11.1 rebounds, 1.6 assists, a full steal, a full block, and 16.7 points. Go get DeAndre Ayton, especially because you could probably get him cheap. You're not getting him for the vet minimum. Could you maybe get him on the taxpayer mid level? I don't know. He might, maybe if he's like, hey, I'm getting paid out, so why not type thing. We'll see. Time will tell. But go get DeAndre Ayton. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.